Hello, today we are going to focus on decimal notation. You are going to read and write decimals to thousandths using base 10 numerals, number names, and expanded form, just like this example here. What I would like to focus on first is this place value chart. Notice we have our decimal point right over here is my decimal point. To the left of my decimal point, as a reminder, are my whole numbers. We start with our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. These are all whole numbers. Then to the right of my decimal point, we have pieces of a whole. That represents my fractions or my decimals, and we call that tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and so on. Notice I'm adding that THS at the end of all of these words because that represents that we have a piece of my whole, which represents that fraction or decimal notation. Now, looking at this example here, 756 and 41 thousandths. My first recommendation to all of you is drawing the lines to represent each digit. Now here I have my hundreds, my tens, my ones, then my decimal point, then I have my tenths, my hundredths, my thousandths. You need to have a digit in each of these spots. Now as you're completing your work today and as you're going through this video, you can always refer right back to this here to help you when writing these numbers in standard form. Now here we have 756, which I just started writing 756. I hear that and, which means I have a decimal point. Then my next step says 41 thousandths. That thousandths means I'm going to have 3 digits after my decimal point. But 41 is only a 2-digit number, but I still need to have it end in my thousandths place. So I'm going to write 41, and that 1 is in my thousandths place, but now my tenths place has nothing. So I still need to fill that with a digit, and that's where I'm going to put my 0 here to represent the digit in my tenths place, giving me 756 and 41 thousandths. This is how you represent this number in word form and standard form. My next problem is 82 and 84 thousandths. Now again, I drew my lines to represent each digit, and I know that all of these lines need to be filled. So first I have 82, so I'm going to simply write 82, and drawing my decimal point, 84 thousandths. But again, that thousandths is telling me I'm going to have 3 digits after my decimal point. So I'm going to write 84, but I need to also fill in my tenths place, and I'm going to fill that in with my 0, giving me the number 82 and 84 thousandths. Now again, this is word form, this is standard form. Now what we're going to move on to is also expanded form. So in this example here, we have 72 and 438 thousandths. So I wrote this in word form first, 72 and 438 thousandths. And notice I'm still including thousandths as well. It's very, very important to have that. Now I'm going to write this in expanded form, and this is when I'm tearing apart this number, representing the value of each digit that creates this number. So first I'm going to start with the left of my decimal point, and those are my whole numbers. And to be honest, this is review from when we learned about place value at the beginning of the school year. We only dealt with whole numbers. So again, 72, we're tearing 72 apart. We have 70 in my, and then we have 2. And again, 7 times 10 also represents 70 because the digit 7 is in my tens place, giving me a value of 70. Same thing with the digit in my ones place. The digit in my ones place is a 2, giving me a value of 2. Now I'm going to move to the right of my decimal point, and this is where it's the pieces of my whole representing the fraction or decimals that I have. The digit in my tenths place is a 4, giving me 4 times 1/10, which is also 4/10. Then I move to my hundredths place. Now notice I have 100th or 100th. They are both correct. It's up to you if you would like to represent it in decimal form or fraction form. So now I have 3 times 100th, giving me a value of 300th. Then in my thousandths place, I have 8 times 1,000th or 8 times 1,000th, giving me a value of 8 thousandths. Now, if you add all of these together, you add any expanded form notation you wrote it in, you have to make sure when you add everything together, it brings you back to your original number of 72 and 438 thousandths. Now today, what you are going to do after you finish this video, you are first going to go through the 2 worksheets that I did post on Google Classroom. Complete them, make sure you feel confident on them. Both worksheets have examples exactly like we just went over in this video. So use this video to help you when you're completing that activity. Once you feel confident on the material, please click the link on Google Classroom that will direct you to a Google Forms on this work. The link is posted on our Google Classroom page. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to comment and I will get back to you as soon as possible.